Okay, well, hold on. He's already got an Enchantress here. Uh, there is actually like quite decent draw here, but again, there's not thinning. Having said that, there is Legionary, which is a pretty strong attack, as well as Relic, and those kind of stack pretty well together. So I think you definitely want to be doing something around this grouping of cards with probably a Relic. Even though, oh, there is some thinning, so research, yeah. So you're definitely going to want to do research stuff, and then slowly that's going to get rid of your coppers. You need to build up some silvers to get enough economy to be able to do the rest of the stuff. You want to get a relic and a legionary and a gold, and somewhere along these lines, you're going to be getting some more enchantresses and some workers' villages. So ordering it is not going to be easy at all. Having a barracks is going to be good at some point for reliability, but not a high priority. Having piazza is not something you want to do early at all, and maybe you never do because, well, you're going to have some number of treasures the whole time, and then you're going to have some number of researches, and you don't necessarily want to play the research. Well, you're probably going to be under enchantress attack most of the time, which makes that a little bit less bad, but on the other hand, yeah, anyway, the big point is the legionary attack is strong enough that you have basically forever to get this deck going, and you don't need actual forever. So, and again, this resume thing is happening. So they each opened research enchantress, I think. But this resume thing is a little bit annoying. Every time I pause, it's jumping me forward like a minute or two. So no fun, Twitch. No fun. A second research is interesting, but it's kind of just like a non-terminal copper trasher, so I'm not so keen. There, I probably would have gotten a workers' village, but you know, it's kind of reasonable to get an enchantress. So now I would just trash the research a copper, play enchantress, and buy a silver because he needs some money. Okay, so this is 5, and I think I'd probably just get a relic here because well, they are a bit over terminaled to get a legionary, and I don't think, yeah. So you just play enchantress here and you buy a workers village. I think it's time. So he's really going very heavily on enchantresses, which I guess obviates to some extent the need for royal blacksmiths, but I'm a little bit worried about Jake being over terminaled here. So here he should thin the hovel and buy probably his own relic. See, I wouldn't have played the Necropolis there just for information, but okay, whatever. Estate wasn't 1, by the way, in this previous game that they're saying estate cost 1. It didn't. It cost 2. They thought it was going to cost 1, but it didn't. Okay, so here, your second 5, I think I'd get the Legionary. I really don't like Piazza on this board. I don't like it in general, really, but I don't like it on this board in particular because you can hit research at an opportune moment. You're going to feed the wrong thing into the Enchantress, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm not big on the second relic. I guess if you need the money, it's obviously it's better than silver, but I would be trying to get legionary and workers' villages and a gold. Um, okay, so here I think I would research the necropolis, play enchantress, and buy a workers' village. He's really going to need villages. No. So Jake just said, wait, I already got a workers' village. But he did not. His opponent just got it on the previous turn. That's the only one gone. Okay. I think you might have realized there. I'm a little bit remiss to get rid of the necropolis because, well, if nothing else, you can feed it into opposing enchantresses to, and that's like a nice thing to have extra actions for that. But okay, okay, so this is 5 from Jake's opponent. Yeah, you play the workers' village here. The buy is not important because you want to buy a gold. You want to make sure that you have your enchantress in place so you have a good next turn. He's thinking about getting Piazza here, but Piazza would not be at all high on my priority list. I want to get to my legionary attacks. And again, like I said, I don't like Piazza here because it can hit research, it can hit. Um, wow, bank is not something I would be wanting quickly, like at all. Research a copper, buy another village. I definitely, so he's wondering about legionary attack, but I would have been planning for legionary attack from much earlier. I think I'd get the legionary here. It against the village is not so clear. This is the other thing though, like Piazza can hit legionary at a time where you don't have your golden hand and then you don't really want to play it. Feed the workers village in, play the enchantress, buy a gold. Okay, so now, yeah, Jake needs to get more workers villages and a little bit more draw, but he's starting to get into a kind of position that's not so bad. Uh, you should enchantress first here in case you draw a gold and then Piazza into legionary. And now I think I'd just get a workers village. Yeah, I don't think the second gold is really very appealing. He's talking about making it more Okay, trashing two cards so far. It's those enchantresses have been, he keeps feeding his research into these enchantresses, but that's kind of what enchantress does. Maybe it was very good for Jake to have gotten the second one right, but yeah. So Jake gets the second gold there, and I don't like it. Really, I think the way you want to make your legionary attack reliable isn't by just shoving extra golds in; it's by getting your deck control better. So he should feed the research in here to the enchantress so that he can do this. Yes. And now he's really rolling. He should be in much better position than his opponent here, I believe. Play Enchantress. Now you have enough money. You could buy Workers' Village Royal Blacksmith. I don't like bank, so he's thinking about bank here, and he got one. And I don't like it because he doesn't have enough draw for it. I am a bit perplexed. Jake just said that he didn't realize his opponent only had one research until they pointed it out just now. But it's very hard for me to, like, you're this far into the game. There's only seven left in the, or there are seven left in the pile. I just don't. I feel like this is just a clear sign that you're not paying that much attention to what your opponent is doing. So, like, I want to get a Royal Blacksmith here. I would have wanted one last turn much more than the bank. I want to get more. Wow, he's getting more banks. This seems very bad to me. Okay, now he's realizing it should have been a Royal Blacksmith, but Workers' Village. So continue to trash coppers. And now I would get a Workers' Village and a Royal Blacksmith, I think. You could even think about two Royal Blacksmiths, but I don't think you have the action support for it. I guess you could go for like Barracks and Royal Blacksmith, but I don't. Like, you have to have things to feed your enchantresses as well, so I much prefer getting, and especially because he has gotten Piazza, yeah. So Workers' Village, and this should be a Royal Blacksmith, yeah. Yeah. Jake's opponent's problem here is, well, there's a number of problems, but no golds is a thing, and Jake gets to attack him, or her, or them, or whatever pronoun I ought to be using. Jake gets to attack his opponent. His opponent is not attacking Jake. So feed the research because you don't want to research two things here. Now you play the Workers' Village. This is not that bad though. I would still research a copper here, I believe. You could think about researching the silver, but I think I'd get rid of the copper because you have the Royal Blacksmith. It's nice to get rid of these coppers. So Jake has just realized this is all of his workers' villages, and given that, he should probably buy a barracks here. So he knows that he's not. Oh, no, no, no. Yeah. He knows that he isn't going to have actions in this hand, or plus action in this hand. So if he got the barracks there, he could use that to save this turn. Um, and like he'd done all of the deck tracking. This should definitely be a gold from Jake's opponent. Anyway, he'd done all of the deck tracking. He just missed the last thing. Bank is just so much worse. So you feed the Royal Blacksmith. It doesn't really matter because you're going to play Enchantress here. Excuse me. You play Enchantress here, and you buy another workers' village. And now most of the time you're going to feed workers' villages. But like he just got 2 Enchantresses last turn. You need extra plus actions to cover that terminals. Plus you can feed them to the opponent's Enchantress. He's getting another Royal Blacksmith. I'm a little bit worried that he's now over terminaled again. I don't think the barracks, so Jake is now saying the barracks is good. I don't think the barracks is particularly good in general, but when you've tracked that you're going to have a dud with too many terminals, including draw cards, and you don't have villages the next turn, opportunistically there, barracks is pretty good. Like, it saves your next turn, so you recoup all of that immediately lost stuff basically immediately, right? And then you have the free barracks for the rest of the game, which, like, barracks is good. It's just not good, I don't think, in general compared to the other stuff you could be getting. Um, yeah, so his opponent's still really missing the gold. Now he gets it. Or she. Or, again, whichever pronoun that person would like. Okay, I think you need to research here, which feels bad, man. Um, okay, I think I would have played Blacksmith before Workersville. Whoa, and I probably wouldn't have played that Workers Village there. Play the Legionary because you need the money. Definitely play the Legionary. Also, this lets your Enchantresses get a little bit better balanced. Okay. So Jake should probably get more workers' villages here. He's going to get bank workers' village, which seems reasonable. You're going to want a green fairly soon. Piles are actually getting low here, right? Because workers' villages are at 3, enchantresses are at 2, banks are at 4, and while bank is not a card I almost ever think about piling, it could do here. He's Jake's kind of lucky that these with these coppers he's not dudding worse here. Although I guess it's not that unlikely, given that those are most of the treasures in his deck are now either coming in from the research or were forced to be on top of the deck there. He has all these enchantresses, so he was very likely to draw anyway. Um, okay, lead on Royal Blacksmith here. And now you can draw all these coppers back with the workers' villages. You get to play triple Enchantress and a Legionary. And now you really need to think about endgame positioning. So you have 5 buys. You have 4 workers' villages. Your opponent only has 3. So they don't have a ton. The most obvious thing here is to just get 5 provinces, and that seems quite good because you're more or less just locking the game up. So I think that's what I would do. Um, I think the other stuff is a bit too cute. You just get 5 provinces and then say, like, next turn. I don't know, the attacks here are pretty strong, though. You have to realize that Legionary attack, Relic attack, and Enchantress attack are all going to slow you down. So, like, if you're just playing money, if there wasn't the Legionary attack or the Relic attack, then the Enchantress attack doesn't hurt you, and actually it would help you because of the Necropolis. But it's turn 17 or whatever to get to 4 provinces, and what? He got another workers' village and a bank. I mean, I guess that's fine, but I don't see how that's better than just taking province. The 5 provinces. But okay, I mean, whatever. It's not a big deal. He should win either way. But I guess there's some chance now that he like duds and it's quite bad. It's so unlikely. He's drawing 6 cards, but like I think if you take 5 provinces there, then between the 6 cards that you're drawing and uh, the fact that if you don't draw that many cards, you've probably drawn some treasures. You can get a 6th province almost certainly, and then just like how was your opponent ever coming back from that many points down? So I liked that a little bit better, although both plays seem very very winning. 3 provinces. If you're going to go for the 3 provinces thing, then I really dislike the bank, I guess, because the extra money just doesn't matter. You like if you draw your deck again, you have 5 provinces just in tow right there. Okay, so workers village and now blacksmith, and now workers village, workers village, workers village, workers village. Yeah, so like he would have double province here. I'm pretty sure he would still be able to double province here, and that would just lock the game out, right? Because you'd have 7 provinces. That's over half the VP. I don't think you ever have to research a province, so here I would still double province duchy and just say you can't catch up to me on points. Province duchy barracks is okay. He has 6 buys, so he can't also he's a little bit short of piling out on banks and enchantresses. He's 6 money short. Um, so you want to keep. I probably Well, I guess Enchantress is the thing you'd most like to feed to the opposing Enchantress, so this is maybe okay. His opponent is so far behind, I don't really see ever losing, but so play Enchantress first. Now Royal B. Royal B. Play your Workers Village. Okay, so just play your 3 Enchantresses, don't play your Research by a province. I agree with Jake. How does his opponent know that, oh, the Royal Blacksmith? Yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, I still wouldn't have researched it. I mean, it's fine, but I like having the point security more than I like having the draw security. Probably would keep gold over bank. I don't know, maybe not. What's he research? He researches a copper. They research a copper. Bank, bank. Is there still only one? Okay, so this could have been. Yeah, so 40 here. So this is 44 minutes in. If Jake had researched a bank and bought a duchy, Jake would be on 30 points here. The opponent could have had 44 money and 6 buys, right? So that would be 3 provinces, that's 24, and 3 duchies. Yeah, easily. In fact, more than enough money to be able to get that. So 3 provinces is 18 points, that's 27, and 3 duchies would be a win. As it is, because Jake didn't research the bank, then now his opponent is only going to be able to get 2 provinces and 4 duchies. That's 15, 21, and enough to tie. Actually, still enough to tie. Um, yeah, so this is a tie, and I think Jake misplayed earlier. Uh, no, it's not 34 points. You just draw. He buys short of. He had enough money, didn't have enough buys. But yeah, I really think that the play was the turn that he didn't get 5 provinces and he only got 3. I think that was the thing there.